So we're a month into our well.
It is 9:04 and this is the Richland County Board of Commissioners. And we are here with, I'm Daryl Banks, Commissioner, with fellow Commissioner Tony Vero, our clerk, and Andrew Keller, our administrator, Michelle Swank from Dayspring, and Kelly Christensen, our HR person. And we are here. Michelle, do you want to explain?
Go to an executive.
No, we're going to executive
I'll
session,
make a motion, to go into executive session for discipline out of our Dayspring.
and I will second that. And
Thanks.
yes,
Commissioner Pharaoh.
Yes.
we will be back at 9:30. And Tony, do you have a motion to make?
I do. If we're back in session, I'd like to make a motion to approve 1-day suspensions out at our day spring department.
I'll second that. We'll report that Cliff has joined us, but he will abstain from this. Welcome back and hope the grandbabies are doing great. Great.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vero?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Now, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss employment of a public employee.
Second.
Commissioner Mears?
Yeah.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vero?
Yes.
think so.
Okay, you got something back in the circle again? We are, it's 9:30. We're out of executive session. No action to be taken at this time. I'd like to reopen the Board of Commissioners meeting for our department heads meeting. We have our department heads here, and why don't we start with Lori and then Michelle, because I understand you have a retreat coming up shortly.
We do, but actually the time for this meeting was changed, so we're good.
Good.
We have time, thank you.
Okay, so let's just go around the room and hear your readouts and introduce yourself and your department for, I assume the media is online?
They are, yes.
Okay, since Kelly, you're first up.
Haven't you heard enough from me already this morning? I haven't worn out my welcome yet.
Not yet.
Well, good morning. I'm Kelly Christensen, HR Director, and always busy in my world, never lacking for things to keep us busy. Busy time of year with insurance issues and whatnot that we're working through, and we'll be rolling out to folks soon. Andrew and I continue to work through the policy manual update, and once that's completed, it will go before the board, and then we'll be rolling it out to everyone. And I anticipate having some meetings to discuss and go over that. There will be some substantive, much needed changes and updates, so we'll want to make sure everyone's on the same page. And then some good news, and Lori, there you are. Hello. She's probably seen enough of me here lately too. But good news there, where we settled her union contract, which expires at the end of this month. So just getting our final versions ready to bring before the board. Scheduled for next week, I believe, to come up and have the board approve that. So we're happy to have that settled and wrapped up. And those are the highlights from my department.
Good work.
Thanks.
Thank you. Kara?
Kara Russell, Building Department. Just a few things. I think I said at the last one, we're now doing residential permits in the village of Crestline for their department. I'm working, that seems to be working out fairly well. We're already there for commercial, so it's not like a lot of extra. I mean, we have the extra permitting and stuff like that, but we're already in that area.
You could probably thank Mr. Hunnell's investigative journalism for getting us that new contractual partner.
Yes.
Goes Carl.
Yes.
Crestline didn't have one and nobody paid attention, so glad to do it.
Yep. So, then we're also working on new contracts for our backups for the city of Mansfield. We've always been their backup, and we have like a really old contract, so we're working on putting together a new one for that. And Galleon reached out for us to be their backups for residential. So, because they have a residential apartment, but one guy does everything. So if he's out, they have no backups right now. Been working on moving forward with more of the geo permits, trying to get some more of that stuff up and running. Moving forward with that. The working on updating kind of hand in hand with that, our forms and stuff. As we get different stuff up, we make sure that what we need in the software system matches our forms and all that kind of stuff. So it's a chance for us to kind of just make sure all of our stuff is up to date with our forms and our things like that, our applications and, informational forms and all that kind of stuff. And also with that, I'm trying to work on slowly updating the stuff on our website. We have the ability to do a lot of the website updates ourselves. So I've been working on trying to keep the front page updated with our hours, like for Labor Day and stuff like that. But then also updating the information as it needs to be updated and as we get it updated in our department. We do have our big training in November that we have the code conference where we get almost all of our training for the year. So we'll have that coming up in November. It's a very awkward dates because they started having them over election Tuesday. But that's when so we'll be up in Cleveland for that. And then the other big thing that we're working on is kind of the Build Richland process, seeing what we can do to make the entire permitting process easier for people for both residential and commercial stuff coming and looking into Richland County. So kind of working at that from a couple different pathways.
How's the number of permits, commercial and how? Last few years?
So our housing is pretty steady. Housing typically, the residential typically is the vast majority, even though we only covered Richland County for residential. However, it is not the majority of our income. Residential, we have those fees at a very low level to help for the people who are trying to do updates and stuff to their homes and stuff like that. The commercial permits obviously are down this year because we have lost counties, and that's what we're doing is we're looking at, do we want to reach out to some of the other counties that don't have a department and they're with the state, or are we looking at focusing more local? And right now we're kind of looking at that local option with the Build Richland, where we make our department, like what can we do to help bring in, maybe we have to change, maybe we look at what the department does. Do we help become more of a permit facilitator too, where we also help them with their zoning or with, this is the places that you need to go and help walk them through them, or what do we want our department to look at? Because right now is the time that we have to do that. So we're kind of discussing that as to what we want the department to look like, just straight building department like it was, where we pick up more jurisdictions. Or do we want to look at it a more local where we can do a lot more proactive stuff, go out when there's, like the tornadoes or the straight line winds and be out in the community helping them with what they need to do to get their repairs done and that kind of stuff. I mean, stuff that we didn't have time to do, well, that we would have loved to do, but we didn't have time to do when we had such a large jurisdiction, when we had all the different counties. So that's kind of where we're at, that decision point here. So
If we decided to go that route, you could help people wanting to build in Richland County commercially or
residential, yeah.
residential,
Mhm.
help them step through. And then that's something you've been doing, but you would just have more.
Yeah, we would have more time and we would be able to be more proactive rather than reactive when people are like, hey, we don't know what, we can be, an example I would like to use is there was the tornado straight line winds in Madison. It would have been nice to maybe not the next day, but the following week, just to kind of be out, say, hey, we're going to have a table out in the neighborhood. You guys can come ask us questions, walk the neighborhood, tell it, this is what you need to do to get that you just tore off some siding, you can replace that without having to get a permit. Oh, your whole thing built down, even though you're rebuilding it exactly as is, you need to come get a permit. Here's the forms, here's what we need, that kind of stuff, so that we can be more helpful and more proactive out in the community.
Kara? Michelle?
Michelle White, Dayspring. Even though we are only in September, we are already planning all of our events for the rest of the year. October 14th will be Dayspring's 5K. It will start at 10 a.m. sharp. The registration starts at 9 a.m. And the walk or run, depending upon how you would like to do it, goes through our property and you pass by all of our very neat, interesting and old buildings. It is going to be probably very pretty because the leaves are already beginning to change color out at Dayspring. In the past, we've actually had deer on the course as you're walking around. So very pretty, and it would help Dayspring a lot, and the residents would love to wave at you as you're by. So October 14th, our information and flyer is on our Facebook page. If you're interested, please check it out. On October 23rd, which happens to be a Monday, we are going to do our trunk or treat. We'll have tons of candy and little treats for the kids. And we're doing that between 5 and 7 o'clock.
That's a football Saturday,
That's a Monday.
October 23rd. Oh, never mind. I was looking at September 20th.
No, no.
I was like, that's Notre Dame, Ohio State. Are you? Oh.
I don't know. As it is, as we set these things up, we think about the football schedule.
Smart.
So this one's on a Monday, and we had so much candy last time because, again, didn't plan it very well. It was on a high school Friday night. So now it's on Monday.
So that's 5 to 7.
Yes, and doesn't dress up, and you're free to dress up, and hopefully it'll be a good time. December 2nd, we are having our breakfast with Santa. We have not had this for a few years. It's at 9 a.m. to 10:30. Someone is dressed up as Santa and you can come out and it's a picture opportunity. You can bring your smartphone, take a picture. And then we serve really good pancakes and sausage with toppings and the whole 9 yards. And that's Saturday, December 2nd.
Wait, that's the Christmas thing?
Those are the important events. The residents are excited to have, well, everything that we've got going on, so. We have been very busy as we are into the fall, because in the winter, we are not able to move about outside the building as much with the cold temperatures and possible ice, so our outings are fewer. But so far this week, we were able to, thanks to the Area Agency on Aging, they gave us tickets, to go to the Lego exhibit at Kingwood. And the residents had a great time. So far, I've been told that they love the peacock exhibit and the one with the turtle. A bunch of residents have been showing me pictures of the turtle. So if you haven't gone, I really suggest it would be something worthwhile. And again, thank you so much, Area Agents on Aging, because without them giving us the tickets, we would not have been able to go. Next week, the residents are going to the Cleveland Zoo. They are very excited. And although they might be complaining about the forced march, I made them go on to make sure that they could handle the zoo. They had to circle Dayspring 4 times in a nice walk to prove that they will not pass out getting into the zoo. So they are still complaining to me about me doing that
4 times.
4 times. So, you know, you always have that. So
Safety first.
safety first. And then also, probably the biggest thing right now is if you are interested in a wonderful place to work, Dayspring is hiring. They are looking for nurses aides, and I believe I have a part-time cook position. If you are interested, please give Dayspring a call. We are a county employee. If you're hired full-time, we have the benefits, retirement package. We offer you a very nice meal. There's a uniform allowance, and you're working with a bunch of really nice, good people. And that's it for Dayspring.
Michelle, this weekend is the honor bus, so Friday morning, very early, they're sending them off from the area agency. Sunday, they're bringing them back about 9:30. Anybody that can make it, it's great to honor them back. But I just talked to a lady from Marion, and she has an honor. It's like the honor bus or the honor flights for people who cannot travel. If you can get to Marion, they have videos and bands and the whole works, whatever. So it's not till June 6th. But I want to make sure we talk about that before then.
That would
And if
be
anybody listening, if they're interested, give me a call and we'll connect you with the lady in Marion.
June 6th. And because with 20 veterans, a lot of them, a couple of them in a wheelchair, traveling would be very hard.
There you are making them run around there 4 times.
They totally, absolutely did it with their walker.
You didn't have to use the whip or the whistle.
No whip, no whistle. I've got cameras, nothing.
Hey, thanks, Michelle. Amanda.
Amanda Miller with Richland Wastewater. We've been hopping here lately. All that nice little rain, 4.5 inches. We were rather busy dealing with all the weather to storm. Everything's up and running. We continue to do work as needed. We've done quite a few things this year. This last spring or summer, trying to get through. We're in cleaning mode. We've repaired roofs. We're working on finishing up the preliminary for the Belleville upgrade projects. We'll be coming to see you here in the next quarter to get approval to move on to the design phase. That's exciting. Do have a little bit of complaint about all of the jury duty we've all had lately. Been crazy short staff this last quarter over it. Not bad though, but it's been quite a roller coaster. Let's see. And we did allow us to hire our new meter man who will.
When's he start?
He started on the 21st.
Cause I was just tracking manpower and I checked that the other day.
And he is picking up well. He's working out great, getting along well with the old crew as we are, and doing a great job. So I'm real pleased. Other than that, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble.
Well, that's not the fun we like.
When it comes to what I deal with,
I
I
know.
think you want me to stay out of trouble.
Well, thank you, Amanda. Janet.
Janet Brock, Child Support. We ended last month, August, with 10.7 million collected so far for our federal fiscal year, which ends this month. In current collections, which is pretty much where we were at last year, so we're staying pretty good. Caseworkers just finished up their emancipations, got all that filed through the court. Really happy with the new judge. Things are going very smoothly. The attorneys are doing well. Back to coming in the building instead of doing Zoom court hearings, so that's all worked out well. The state's working on our sets modernization to update our computer that's, well over 20 years old. So we're trying to get the system modernized. We do have next Thursday, a week from today, I have a directors meeting down in Columbus to get us set on the new things that are coming for the new federal fiscal year. And then the end of October, we're having our fall conference training for the full state for our child support workers. So we usually get about 5 or 6 girls to travel down to Columbus for the 2 days. Normally they don't stay all night, they come back. So they travel down there, get to meet with people from all over the state, learn different things. What's your best practice? How do you handle this? So the trainings are really, really good. The attorneys go occasionally, they get their CLEs that they need and stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty good thing. But right now, that's all that's going on with child support. Otherwise, we're doing really good.
Thank you, Janet. Michelle.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name's Michelle Miller, and I've officially been in my position as executive director for the Youth and Family Council for 3 months now. So I'm sort of new, but really staying very busy. And so far in the last 3 months, 3 new proposals have been approved. A continuing with Richland Public Health for $79,125 to continue newborn visiting and to purchase prevents for families. We also had a proposal approved for Casey to work with multi-system female youth, and that was for $11,288. And the third proposal that we had approved was the Ed Leadership Foundation to work with Richland County sophomores in a leadership program, and that's for $19,650.50. And I've also been organizing and facilitating monthly meetings for our finance committee, our child care committee, and our full council meetings. Those are monthly. I've also been organizing and facilitating our care management meetings, and those meetings happen weekly. I collaborated with Huron County on the Strong Families and Safe Communities grant. I believe we should be finding out soon if we're going to get the funds from that grant. We both ended up asking for $110,000. And I've also completed last year's report using help from a couple others to complete the report for the Women's Fund grant for last year. And then I've also completed and submitted the Women's Fund grant for this year, asking for $25,000 again to help with childcare conference. And I've also intermittently been working with Donna Height at OSU Mansfield to see how we can collaborate, working with youth ages 16 to 21. It seems like a missed age group, and Youth and Family Council can work with families up to children up to age 21 and families. So I'm trying to reach some of those unaccompanied youth that are wanting to go on to secondary education and or the workforce and need some support in doing that. And I updated and revamped the Richland County Youth and Family Council website, making it more accessible for families, updating all agencies on there that are helpful in the Richland County area, as well as making sure it can be a central location for other agencies that are a part of the council. So a family can go look for early intervention. They can go on our website, click on either the state early intervention website or New Hope. I've also updated our Facebook social media account. Slowly but surely, we're getting some people on there just to make it again more accessible for our families in the Richland County area. I have also planned a retreat that is taking place this afternoon, and that's more so to go over our Richland County Youth and Family Council bylaws to be a refresher for our council, as well as also update some areas that I feel like we are in need in Richland County. And after reaching out, I think I've heard back from 16 different counties in Ohio, according to what they have on their bylaws and how their councils are run, to try to make it more of a streamlined, fluid council versus everyone in separate silos. So I'm hoping that we can come together and collaborate ideas within agencies to make it a little bit more easy. Also, I've been in the process of trying to hire a multi-system youth service coordinator, which has been an interesting process. I'm still hopeful. So I would like to find a service coordinator that would be able to carry 20 to 25 families, because I feel like we really have the capacity to be able to help that many families. In addition, they would also be completing the CANS assessments for Richland County Children's Services, families that are in need of keeping the child in the home. And then also DYS CANS assessments for our youth that are part of youth services. Over the summer, I've kind of taken that role as service coordinator in addition to my role as the director, which has been interesting, doable but interesting. I've completed 4 CANS assessments for Richland County Children's Services, including assessments, reports, and follow-up with the agency. And then also 10 DYS CANS assessments and reports and followed up with the agency for that. Other than that, I mean, I've stayed pretty busy. I have.
We're warned when you took the job.
And it's been a fun ride. I still have high hopes for what the council can really be.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. Rebecca, what's going on?
Rebecca Owens, Richland County EMA Director. So in regards to weather events, it's been a pretty active summer. I'm sure all of you are aware of that as you've been through it as well. The most significant incident that we had was July 28th, where we had straight line winds with approximately 50 miles per hour winds come through. So that was a determination that was made by the National Weather Service. There was some damage to some homes, trees, minimal other small buildings in the southern part of Richland as well as Ashland counties. It seems to be the season for exercises because we are assisting with an exercise at Clear Fork schools and Lucas schools next month. Those are yet to be completely ironed out, but those are on the schedule for next month. And then the Ohio Department of Health has an exercise which we are participating in October in collaboration with the Richland Public Health Agency as well. So in regards to the sirens, we've had a busy summer with them, getting them checked out, activated, making sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. We had the initial report earlier on in the year where we had 8 sirens that were not working at all, 20 that needed repaired, and that estimate there, and actually it came out to be a little less than $41,000 that we took care of and had all of that completed. 99% of it by the end of July, which was our target date. And then they did another assessment early in August and come up with another additional 8 units that needed to be repaired. So those are in the process for another additional $6,600. Hoping to have those done by the end of November. And last week I had 2 calls about 2 other ones. So this is going to be an ongoing project. It's just really maintaining and overseeing the sirens to make sure that they are doing what they do. We've had a couple inquiries from the township trustees as far as moving the sirens. And we've reached out to VASU in regards to that. If they were looking to move a siren, it would be anywhere from like $3,800 to $4,600 to do so. And others have asked about adding solar panels. And that would be an additional cost of about $3,500. So those, it's not an easy task to do that, nor obviously is it an inexpensive task to do so. The greatest concern with moving them is that some of them are located kind of literally like out in the middle of the field or along a road somewhere that's not close to anything. And townships are paying for utilities on those for electric. And moving those to either a township building or the township fire department would be, they allow them to be tied into the electric at that building. So that's why they're asking about that, because it's all about the money. So that's kind of the update on the tornado sirens.
Are the townships willing to pay for the move and for the solar panels since they're the ones asking about
Well,
it?
we've not got into that discussion, but that's going to be my response is, you know, if they choose to do so, go for it.
And the reason they're thinking about moving them is they're being charged $85 from the electric company. And it hardly uses any electric, but the electric company's policy is if you have a non-residential need for electricity, you pay a minimum of $85. And in one of the townships, the neighbor said, well, hook it into my electricity. They offered him $20 a month, and he says, it's my gift to the township. So some of them are hoping to find good neighbors. And some of them are too far away to have good neighbors, so.
In the place, but, and I also wanted to reiterate again in regards to activation of the county sirens. County sirens, the procedures for that is they're set up in they're separated into banks. So there's the northern bank, the central bank, and the southern bank. If the northern bank goes off, the northern and the southern goes off. Or northern and the central goes off. If the southern bank goes off, the southern and the central goes on. If it goes off in the central, then all three go off. So it kind of gets a little confusing. I know it was a month ago or whenever all these dates were together because this weather has been nonstop. Someone contacted us because the siren didn't go off in the northern part of the county. Well, the warning was not for the northern part of the county, it was the southern part of the county. So it did go off in the southern part of the county because I had others that called me and said, yes, we were happy because the sirens did go off. So they are working much more efficiently and better than they did before, especially those that were not working at all. And then just a reminder that you can sign up for the countywide alert system, which is RC alerts, and you can do so on the county website to do that. So we've been really pushing that, and that seems to be, we've had some conversations with WENS in regards to their response and, you know, efficiency of that. It's been much better lately. I do think at times it also gets overwhelmed because that's when it seems like it's a little slower to get the alert out, is when there's crazy weather, not only here, but in other counties as well. Mentioned the exercises. Okay, so we're getting ready for the solar eclipse, which is not until April 8th, 2024 at approximately 3:12 p.m. So if you have not heard about that, there you go. You've got it now. Put it on your calendar. The date will not change. That is the date. We've had someone ask that, not in this county, but in another county. Will the date change? No, that's not going to change. So I guess just kind of be aware that there is planning going on for that. There are subcommittees that have been established in regards to public health, public safety, community awareness, designated viewing sites, establishing, we've got resources on hand that we need for that. So just kind of, I guess, for those of you that are in that your agency or organization has to order supplies and what have you, for whatever you do, make sure you're ordering them well enough ahead of time. The big challenge is going to be traffic. We're expecting the population to at least double in Richland County, and there could be major delays in anything. So just stay tuned for more on that, but we're really pushing that out there in regards to that. We do have an update meeting scheduled next week for elected officials and some of our superintendents, law enforcement, and that type of thing, to give them an update. But there will be additional meetings held yet this year, and then I'm sure at least one or two after the beginning of the year to provide an update to the general public on those type of things. And we have had a good conversation with the Richland County Astronomy Club, and they are, all hype on this. They're just ready to go. So we are learning a lot from them, and they've got a lot to tell us. They also were in Tennessee in 2017 when the eclipse went through, and they lived through the traffic jam, so they can speak to all the craziness that went on. So
For public consumption, I've had a few residents ask me about the Eclipse glasses.
those, it's my understanding, you can go on the Ohio, under the Ohio EMA website, there is the State of Ohio Eclipse website, and I believe you can order them from there. We are not doing anything with that. Library has ordered some, and I think some of the schools are ordering them, but, yeah, not. There's other lots of resources to get those, but we choose not to do that craziness.
I predict rain for that day.
Yeah, April in Ohio,
You know, mess.
you're like 70% chance of rain.
Right.
Yes. Crazy. And then lastly, September is National Preparedness Month. This year's focus for FEMA is older adults, so we've been really, spreading the message on preparedness and making sure people understand, how important it is to have an emergency kit. Be informed, make sure you've got either a weather radio or have signed up for the alerts, and that you really kind of have a communication plan with your family, knowing that if something happens and you need to evacuate or be somewhere else, how are you going to communicate with your family? We are having an open house next Thursday, which would be the 14th from 3 to 5 p.m. And so again, older adults, and I use that term lightly because I don't know really what it means. They've not provided a clear definition or an age limit kind of thing. So it's anybody can come and see us, why not? And then we've also have distributed to date 1,000 placemats at some of the various restaurants, VFWs, Legions, that type of thing, with some information about the open house, as well as some other disaster preparedness information. So we're trying to get the word out kind of in some unusual, inexpensive ways to share about National Preparedness Month.
Yeah, it's 3 to 5 Thursday.
Yes, sir.
That's a week from today.
Yes.
Thank you, Rebecca. All right.
Morning. Department of Job and Family Services, we just keep moving on. We are undergoing 2 audits right now, one through the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services and one through the Auditor of State's Office. These are both comprehensive audits. They're looking at program, fiscal, across the board, all of our programs. So it's been quite an experience for those of us who are new to this process. So we also, as Kelly said, recently completed our contract negotiations. Again, we had a relatively new negotiation team, so it was quite a learning experience for those on the team that had not taken part in this, and hopefully they can continue to learn as they go into the next contract phase in a couple of years. We're also closing our fiscal year. Many of our grants ended as of June 30th, and we have a 90-day liquidation period. So again, that's been a new process for the fiscal department, for myself included in that. So again, we're learning quite a bit through this whole experience. We just completed the book bag and school clothing voucher event that we do in coordination with the council. And we are still getting some invoices and things from some of the vendors like Kohl's, and I believe we're just waiting on some invoices from Kohl's, but we had sent out letters to 1,313 children, which was roughly 662 families, that we pulled a report, a snapshot report in April of 2023. And any family on receiving food assistance in the month of April that had children of school age could participate in that school voucher book bag project. So we had sent them letters. Of that original 1,300, 980 of those individuals or children received their book bags and vouchers, which was amounted to 445 families. Then we also keep a waiting list, anyone that might fall in because for whatever reason they didn't get on the initial list. They applied in April, but for some reason their benefits didn't start until May, so we add them to a waiting list. We had 252 children on that list, or 113 families. And they have picked up their vouchers and book bags. So altogether, 1,232 children in the community received books, bags, and vouchers. And that again equates to 558 families. And the book bags, the value of the book bags is $35. And the vouchers for each child received a voucher of $175 to be taken to help provide school clothes for the family. So all total, roughly $258,720 in book bags and vouchers to families.
Lori, is that completely independent of what the news store does?
It is, but we do work with the news store. She actually provides, they pack the book bags for us and we purchase and we provide them the funding to purchase the book bags for this event. Then she uses her volunteers to pack the items and purchase the supplies using that funding to give to them. So they do help us.
Lori. So that wraps it up. Carl, do you have any questions for any of our department heads?
No, very informative, but thank you very much.
Al? Anything?
No, I don't either. Thank you.
I have one thing. We have to move the next meeting. So it was scheduled for December 7th. It needs to move to December 14th. If everybody's available at 10:30. I'll send a reminder to you, but go check your schedules. Please. Move it to December 14th.
At what, did you say 10:30?
10:30.
Just for me.
Okay. Any other questions or comments or business to come before the Board of Commissioners at this time? Okay, hearing none. Stand adjourned at 10:07 a.m.
No, we need to recess for a little bit and come back and do our regular items.
Oh, I don't have my,
Yeah, just maybe recess till 10:15 or so.
I'm just back. I got in at 3:05 this morning.
You know, that's.
Okay, it's 10:18 and the Richland County Board of Commissioners is back in session. Do I have a motion to approve the meetings for August 24th.
So moved.
You weren't here,
I
Tony.
can move. I'm gonna.
Okay, I'll second.
Commissioner Mears, Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Staying.
Meetings for September 5th.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
I will abstain as I was not here.
Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Motion to approve requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Motion to approve the weekly transfers. Appropriation.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Next item on our agenda is to approve a notice of an ARPA expenditure out of revenue loss for the auditor for weights and measures. And Andrew, could I ask you for a recap on this? Or we,
This is for the purchase of a Chevrolet Silverado 2500 pickup truck. The auditor, one of the auditor's office's many duties is weights and measures, and you need a heavier truck to put the weights in. So they have got a quote from Rocket Chevrolet for $47,000, $760. That factors in a trade-in on the current 2007 truck that they've been using. And that's something the auditor has requested, and it is something that they really do need. So
this is a used vehicle.
yes, 2021. It's got a little over 20,000 miles on it.
And
I'll make a motion that we pass this, buy the truck with the ARPA.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Could I have a motion to approve the annexation of 18.82 acres from Jefferson Township to the village of Belleville? Any discussion on that?
And they did get us all the paperwork we needed on that because they were behind in that. Okay, well, I'll make a motion, we do that.
I'll second it. Thanks to my favorite Belleville mayor of all time.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Hey, Al, do you have any questions on any of that business?
No, I don't. Daryl clarified. I just wanted to make sure that that's what the annexation was what I remembered, and Daryl clarified that.
Okay,
Carl hung up.
I'm talking.
I
Carol,
just want
got
to let Tony know that my daughter is at the Guinness factory right now.
That's actually one of the parts of Dublin I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, she was looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The history, and they have I think 10,000 year or 10,000 year lease or 1,000 year lease on the land. It's 10,000 year lease. It's pretty cool.
It wouldn't sell it to him?
No, Arthur Guinness was a visionary. He's got lease on land and it's pretty cool.
And
And she said the Guinness was as good as she expected.
was warm.
No,
And a cold.
not super cold.
Right.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't warm. It was cool.
Germany, it's warm.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Al. Do you see Carl's still online?
No, he's,
Okay. Is there any other business to come before the Board of Commissioners at this time? The Board of Commissioners then stands adjourned at 10:22 a.m.
That's the one that